Now, it's amazing, isn't it, when we see actions of huge moral courage, and without wanting to be political at all. Time magazine's Person of the Year for 2022, perhaps unsurprisingly, is President Zelenskyy. And hasn't it been outstanding, really, to see this year the immense courage of him and the Ukrainian people in standing up against an evil invasion and at huge cost to themselves. And the outstanding moral courage that he and the Ukrainians have shown has really affected people across the world, hasn't it? You could describe it as a beacon of light, particularly to us here in the West. It's galvanized us and mobilized us to stand up in support of their cause. And people in our country today are putting their lives on the line because of the moral stand that they have taken. This passage today tells us that Jesus is more outstanding even than that in his moral character. I think that's what it means by verse 5. Verse 4. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The life of Jesus, John tells us, is like a light. When you turn on the light in the room, the darkness scatters in front of it. And John is telling us that the moral character, the type of person that Jesus is so significant that it affects all mankind. Now, one of the ways that the Bible tells us that Jesus affects all of us, morally particularly, is through our conscience. Now, we might argue about this, mightn't we? But the Bible clearly says to us that each of us has got a conscience, a sense of what is right and wrong. We all know that feeling, don't we, when we're about to lose our temper or do something awful. The nagging voice inside us saying to us, that's wrong, don't do it. And one of the things that comes from this verse is that the Bible clearly tells us that conscience, that moral sense of what is right and wrong comes from God. And this verse tells us that ultimately it comes from Jesus, the light of the world.